Will everyone please rise for our opening ceremony? Dear Lord, thank you for the blessings today. Thank you for the opportunity to be here and lead the youth of this community. Thank you for this fine young gentleman that's here to present his program, be with his program and guide it. Continue to bless it. Bless us as Kiwanis and bless the armed services as they allow us to be here and share our food. In your name we pray. Amen. Amen. Thank you, everybody. Well, good afternoon. Well, we got a small group today. Quality. Quality. I agree with that. Right here. There's something going on we don't know about. There you go. We weren't invited. Any announcements? Any anything?
I can give you a brief update on our Key Club.
Oh, great.
The Born and Grace Christian School Key Club. I've got all of the Kiwanis Club information filled out. So our portion is done. It's kind of back in their hands now. They're at a point where they need to elect officers and then adopt the bylaws and then get their principal and their advisor, whoever they appoint. I think it's going to be Randy Malbach is going to be their advisor locally there. And I put my name as a contact for us. We can change that.
Second it. First, all in favor say aye. You're volunteering, you're in.
But that's where that stands, and I hope to have that back this week. So then next week, maybe at next week's meeting, we'll be ready to write the check and send it off to Kiwanis International.
Great.
And then hopefully within 4 weeks, we'll have a new club.
We'll have a new Key Club. That's great. Thank you, Randy. Appreciate the work you're doing on that. Eric, I'm not going to present your plaque because we don't have it, but I do have it, and we're going to recognize you the next time.
Jim, I have when you come back, I'll come back and get that.
I don't want you to think we forgot.
Now, you just keep coming and we'll let you know when you're going to get your plaque when you get it.
Okay.
Don't break it. I won't hear this. Okay, don't break it.
We got a special guest today, Tracy Maxwell. I asked him if he had a bio, and he said, no. And I said, well, I think I pretty much handle it myself, without a whole lot of problem. Tracy and I went to high school together. He was a couple years older than me, and in '79 when he graduated, we had a pretty good tough football team.
We had a good run.
We had a good little run at it, and I was a sophomore, and Tracy was a senior. Boy, to me at that time, those dudes, they were pretty tough. So that was interesting, and Tracy and I became good friends back then, and have been friends ever since. And Tracy left here, went to the Army, was in the service for 22 years. Can't even imagine everything he's done. I know he's a drill sergeant there for a while, wasn't he, Tracy? And so he has continued that attitude in his work, which I think is why he's so successful. I'm not go into detail about everything he's done, but he has traveled the world, has a current company now that works over in the Middle East and training police officers. And on his spare time, he helps youth. And he was with Governor Bush's administration in youth development over in Orange Park. And since he had continued that on his own at this time, Tracy called me and talked about coming back to Perry. He says, I want to come back to Perry, I want to do something. Any community always needs help for their youth, but I think everybody's standing in here understand, especially in the school system, it seems like we're more desperate now than we have been in years past, or it seems that way to me. So when Tracy called me and we started talking about this, I went, yes, that's definitely something I'd like to help with. I know that's something the Kiwanis Club would be interested in, and I'm going to let him kind of take it from here, but I know he's been at school all day today. going back when he leaves here. And then he's coming up with a plan, and he's going to tell us a little bit about that. So welcome, Tracy Maxwell.
Messed up.
Pretty good, wasn't it?
First of all, I am so delighted to be home. I've been talking to Mr. Ash for several weeks about coming home and having an opportunity to talk to the freshman class. I think that's a very important group of kids. Born and raised, East Perry, 1003 East Bay Street, right across from the bus shed. The house is no longer there. Raised up 1015 East Main Street, East Perry, Florida. My mother was Geraldine Starling. She was a nurse for 31 years at Dr. Memorial Hospital, and she passed away in 1992. My stepfather that raised me was named George Starling, who married my mom, who passed on in 1996. I have one family member that's alive and remaining in Taylor County today. Stacy Edwards, who still works at Doctor's Memorial Hospital right now. Believe it or not, that's my aunt. Growing up and graduating out of high school together, they thought that we were sister and brother. But she was actually my mother's sister. As Bruce said, I graduated in '79, probably the best year ever in the history of Taylor County. And I went off and went into the service. Actually, I had a football scholarship to go to A&M. I went up there and played a year. My roommate was Nate Newton, who went on to play for the Super Bowl champions, Dallas Cowboys for 3 years. And at that time, I think Nate was about 6'2", about 250. And looking around at that team, I realized that at 5'7", 5'8", 180 pounds, my days were pretty much numbered playing pro football. So I decided to go into service. I spent 22 years as a military policeman. Been all over the place. And it was there toward my end that I really started getting into youth programs. Kind of went all over the nation, training programs that had youth programs, like Camp Blanding. And when I retired in '01, from the Jeb Bush administration, as Bruce said, I got selected to go run the Florida Youth Challenge Academy, the only at-risk high school in the state of Florida. High School 0020. Serviced all 67 counties. Ran it for 5 years. And out of 5 years, I brought kids over here to the King Tree Parade every year. And I brought those kids over here because I wanted the community and the kids to see that if you're struggling in school, come on over here and get your high school diploma so you can get your life on track. And I must say, ladies and gentlemen, in 5 years, 6 years that I ran that program, I only got 2 kids out of Taylor County. Now, I didn't know what the graduation rate was at the time, was attractive. But just think how many kids we probably could have saved if we just helped them get their high school diploma. I've been fortunate enough and blessed enough to help start up a lot of programs. I started up Passport to Manhood in Plantation, Florida. I started up Rites of Passage to Manhood, Inc. in Orange Park, Florida. I started up Brothers of Attila in Hollywood, Florida. And something just didn't sit right with me because there was nothing in my own little hometown that I grew up in. That has always bothered me through the years. And I must say, this presentation, I did come over 4 years ago and give this same presentation. And 2 of my buddies, who are also retired military, we got back in the car. I was ecstatic, I was excited, and they said, "Max, they ain't ready." I said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "This is my hometown." He said, "Max, they ain't ready." And I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, they were right. And it frustrated me. It frustrated me because I got phone calls, I came over, and I seen what was going on happen. I love Perry, Florida, but this is not the same Perry, Florida that I grew up in. It's not. So what I'm going to present to you today is just something to help. Something to put another key in the same old lock. Because my grandmother said, yesterday's keys will unlock all of today's locks. You got to come up with a new key. I've been over there all morning, talking to 9th graders, 10th graders, 11th graders, 12th graders. The keys that unlock our locks will unlock all of their locks. So I'm just going to give a key or present a key today, and I'll be talking with Bruce, and then we'll go from there. I got a quick presentation. I normally play music, but I know y'all ain't into soul music, so I won't play. So I'm just going to let it slide. I'm going to let it flip through, and then I'm going to talk about what I like to do with your help. Youth challenge was great, but I got bored. I said enough is enough, 14 hours a day. I'm retired, I'm going to stay home. And then Immigration and Customs called me, Department of Homeland Security. They said, Tracy, we want you to come down to Miami. We want you to help run our facility. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's in the Everglades. You had to look for boa constrictors and pythons when you walked out. I ended up being down there for 3 years. 3 years away from home. I said, that's enough. I've had enough. I'm coming home. Come back home, the Federal Bureau of Prisons called. Tracy, we want you to come over to Folston, Georgia. We got 2,500 illegal Mexicans we want you to deal with. Border Brothers, MS-13s, some bad boys. What you gonna do? Yes. So I did that for 3 years. Got bored with that. I said, that's enough. Came home. I got a call from my buddy in Miami. He says, Tracy, what you doing? I said, I'm trying to relax. Well, what's up? He said, you need to come go with me. I said, what are you doing? He says, I'm in Abu Dhabi, and I want you to come train tactical use of force to the Abu Dhabi Police Department. So I've been going back and forth, flying 21, 24 hours, one way, to get over there in the Middle East to train the Abu Dhabi Police Department. And I must say, it is fun. It really is. And I've been sharing that with the kids today. So I'm going to shut up for now, Bruce. And I'm just going to show this quick presentation. Not going to insult anybody that tells us about trying to read it, because I think it just flows through. There we go. Everybody see that? I apologize for it being kind of crooked and wide, but y'all kind of get the gist of what we do. I say fact. At-risk males make up 13%. I don't know what's going on with that, Bruce. That's okay. 55% of drug convictions. Let's go fly by pretty fast. These are boys I had down in Miami. I think it says 15% of American children experience poverty by the time they turn age 11. Average males make up 13% of the population. 67% juveniles in adult prisons. And they still been in prisons. Anyway, sir, I apologize. I believe in getting parents involved. A lot of people think parents won't get involved, but that's not true. 2 of every 3 juvenile males are projected to be in the penal system by 2020. 1 out of 4 Americans read a book last year. That's heavy. And they're still building prison. This is actually a graduation ceremony down in Plantation, Florida. That's those guys that you seen earlier. Is reclaiming our youth males possible? Are some of these males beyond hope? Or there are certain issues unique to this generation compared to yesterday? What are some of the steps that we as caregivers and role models can do to turn this tide of academic failure to juvenile crime? How do we relate to kids who distrust us and defy us today? This question. Today, many people just rather abandon these kids. I don't believe in that. I think with your help, we can mentor and reshape one kid at a time. This kid, Bobby Williams, he went from being a high school dropout and got a psychology degree in 2003. Lived in the roughest place in Jacksonville. I've known Bobby since he was 16 years old. He now works with at-risk kids in North Carolina. And by the way, Bobby was 6'5", 255 pounds. Dustin Welch. Found Dustin Welch in IHOP. Just happened to go in there and eat breakfast one morning. He got his college degree in marketing, 2014. 6'4", 287 pounds. Never played high school sports. You may recognize some of these kids. Wesley Brandon, Taylor County High School graduate, going into his junior season at Allen State University, had 79 tackles last year. Majored in sports management. Talked to him 2 or 3 times a day. Great kid. Focus. Taylor County proud. And by the way, Coach Price called me and said, can you help this kid? Radon Parker. Taylor County graduate. And by the way, Radon is going to have his associate degree in criminal justice, Clay. We run into the law. We ain't running from them now. In May. And by the way, Colorado State University, a good friend of mine is a defensive line coach who coached UC Humaniora, and DeMarcus Ware for the Dallas Cowboys is interested in Radon Parker. So what direction are we going to take? We going to give up on them? I don't think so. Yesterday's kids won't fit in all today's lots. My grandmother said that. And that's a war being raised for our kids. It is big money to lock the kids up. First step we got to do is identify the problem. I think me and Bruce in our telephone conversations, absent daddy syndrome, low economic status. I don't think you have a problem with gangs around here, but drugs, oh yeah. And grandparents raising their grandchildren. I think that's some of the problems we have. That's not just here, that's everywhere. Whatever the problems are, I think we would agree that we got to do something. We got to do something different. In 1930, I think some of y'all weren't born then, there was a generation called the Lost Generation. But they went on to win a war. Y'all remember that? Some of y'all? Might have been around 1930s. They were called Misfits. They won a war. So the cure for cancer is probably sitting out there at Taylor County High School somewhere. These are a group of kids that I started out, Brothers of Aquila, in Hollywood, Florida. What makes us different than today's young men? What makes us so different? Well, I had a stepfather who raised me how to be a man. George Starr. Worked at Buckeye Cellulose. Probably 36, 37 years. Taught me how to be a man. All these kids probably need is one caring adult. I got this, it's a kid out there by the name of Tykees Dixon. These are the role models that they're looking up to right now. These are the people that they envy in the community. So why am I so passionate about what I do? Tell you why. This young man, come on. This young man, come on. There he is. That kid right there, Ronaldo Jermaine Maxwell, who got his public start in school right here in Taylor County. That's my son. Struggling in school. Struggling. Didn't know if he was going to graduate until the last day before graduation. The day before graduation. I love this right here. You have never really lived until you've done something for someone who can never repay you. I believe that. But back to my son. I got to go back to him because I think that was the last slide. I said I wasn't going to make it long. Yeah, that's it. But I want to go back and talk about this little kid who I call affectionately by the name of Goofy.
He appreciates that, doesn't he?
No, he don't. He still hates it to this day. He hates it to this day. I'll leave that way don't slide. He's struggling in high school. Good athlete. He was good enough to play 1 year high school football and got invited by the University of Alabama to come to defensive back school when I was in Alabama. I came home from work that day, his clicks was laying in the trash. I said, son, what's going on? He said, Dad, I ain't playing football no more. You always talk about football, and I just wanted to see what it was like. I'm a basketball player. He went on to get a junior college degree. He got accepted to Lincoln Memorial University, graduated in 2007. He went to grad school in Miami, FIU, for 1 year. And now he's in the United States Air Force, looking like me, stationed in Las Vegas, Nevada. And he's out of my pocket. That's what I'm excited about. But he's struggling. And if I learn this process helping my own son get through it, I would be remiss if I didn't do it for other kids. We can make all the money in the world, but what legacy are we really going to leave? When they have my funeral, ladies and gentlemen, they're going to have it in the amphitheater. That's just some of the kids I'm dealing with. I got a kid right now, 6'7". His mom called me up. Can you help my son? I don't ask for nothing other than get your education, get your degree, and one day reach back and pull somebody else and remember this right. Tykees Dixon is 6'7", 289 pounds, Taylor County High School right now, and nobody in Perry, Florida says anything good about it. Don't waste your time, Tracy. He ain't disciplined, Tracy. The kid is in and out of trouble, Tracy. I said, that's the one I want. They said the same thing about Radon Parker. Those are the kids that I want. So why am I here, Tracy? What is it you want to do? My vision, my goal is to come and help Perry start up a true male mentoring program. Me and Bruce has talked. Bruce said, Tracy, what you need? I said, I need a place. I need a place. I need a place where they can get off the street and then they say, come in fellowship on some things about learning how to be a man, things that you and I take for granted. My very first class is real men know how to tie a tie, little boys wear clip-on. That's my first class. When you come up in there, and if they can't afford a tie, then I'll reach out to you guys, you gentlemen say, man, I need you to donate a tie. Because I'm going to teach them how to tie a tie. You know why? Because the next time they come to that training, they're going to have their pants up on their hips, they're going to have a button-down shirt, and they're going to have a tie on, and they're going to tie it themselves. That's what my program is all about. That's what I do. Real world life skill stuff. If you're a community leader, back in the day, I always got a hard job. I was sharing with Bruce, the bank downtown that used to be the old hotel. My stepfather had to sign a waiver for me to go there, work with Buzz Green. And I sandblasted that whole bank downtown at 16 years old. Made my own money for school, got my own supplies, so I didn't have to worry my mama about it. I would love to see community leaders take a kid, let them job shadow. I know the Judge Blue deals with juvenile crime. Before they get there, Judge, let them job shadow you and see what you do sometimes. So they get to understand. So one day they can get inspired to come and take your place. That's what it's all about. That's what it's going to take. You're going to have to get back to some of that old stuff. These kids need jobs. They need an outlet. That's what all of them tell them. Hey, you can be king for a day. Perry, Florida. You have nothing to do. Nowhere to go. And that's true. Because they don't like doing the things that I used to like to do. You know, we picked up a ball. We went fishing. We had an old lawnmower. We'd get together just smoking. Hey, sir, can I cut your yard? Can we go pick up your pecans? This generation is not going to do that. But they are going to be the community leaders tomorrow. So who are you preparing? Are you preparing a Tracy Maxwell to come in and run the city government? Are you preparing a Tracy Maxwell to come in and be the Kiwanis president? What we doing? I don't know. I'm just giving you some ideas to think about. I would love to come over and do that. I would love to get me about, probably my pilot, about 15 of what they call the despise and the reject. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm a spiritual guy, but praying and churching ain't going to do it for all of them. That's a component. So if you think it's going to take them to church, it's going to fix this generation, it ain't going to happen. Trust me, they need it. It's a part of it. But they need some job skills, to learn some life skills, so they can go on and be community leaders. I like to call it taxpayers versus tax takers. What you want? You want tax takers or you want taxpayers? I don't know. I'm just here to share. What I do is about 5 weeks long. You bring them in for 5 weeks. Talk about real world stuff. Get some of you in here sharing your testimonies, talking. That's what it's all about. I ain't saying, hey, write a check for $1 million. Sometimes time is important. That's why it was easy for me to get up about 3:30. I was excited coming back home. I'm excited to get me some Johnson bakery donuts. You know? I was excited about getting over here and seeing the kids and just talking. As we say, hanging out. A great group of kids, a great group of young people in the school system.
You invited some candidates today?
Oh yeah. Yeah. They over there. But it's going to take all of our efforts. So you say, hey, Tracy, I know Bruce said, man, how much this cost? On the little handout it said $20. Make the parents pay that. I'm going to tell you why. I've learned that if parents have a monetary investment in something, they'll see that kid through it. If you pay it for them, parents ain't going to get involved. One of the things that I like to do is what they call a life portrait. Young men come in, I say, okay, you draw your picture out. You draw out on this butcher paper your life. Can't be no words, I want pictures. I don't care if you're not a good artist. From as far back as you remember to the present. You see gloom and doom. They'd probably say Taylor County and have some jail bars. That's how they view in Taylor County. I'm just speaking. So then, when I get the parent in there, I say, okay, sir, okay, ma'am, we're going to put up all this butcher paper. Go find your son and daughter, because there ain't no name on it. You should be able to walk up to a piece of paper and know who your child is. Is that right? You would think. Hey, that's Michael, that's John. You have parents standing there. I got pictures of parents standing there for 30 minutes trying to figure out who is my child. And then at the end of that, I have them draw it out again. Well, you see yourself going now. You'll see it go from gloom and doom to college or to military or to whatever. That's what it's about. That's it. That's the program. 5 weeks. Need a building. Don't cost Taylor County nothing. Why? Because I'm a Taylor County living in Clay County.
We got a building.
Which one?
Scout House.
You know, I thought about that. I did think
We own that.
So, you own it?
We own it.
That's what I like to do. You know, I know you sit at the round table and we're going to chew the fat and all that great stuff, and that's great. But what frustrated me, like I said before, was I came over and I gave a presentation that I thought was, you know, and it frustrated me, so I said, you know what? I know what I'm going to do. And I've been doing it. Wesley Brandon, Raydon Parker, those 3 guys that were in the paper a few weeks ago. Those 3 guys that's going off to college in North Dakota, 2 going to North Dakota, 1 going to Kansas. I did that. So regardless whether I have help or not, I'm going to help these kids in Taylor County. Because if I can help kids in Jacksonville, Miami, and North Dakota, and all these other places, I'm sure it's going to help my kids here in Perry, Florida, my hometown that I love. And believe it or not, Wesley Brandon could have been playing with 2 other guys. but their family stopped. Jabari Bishop. Jabari Bishop, they wanted Jabari Bishop. You could have had Jabari Bishop at defensive end, Wesley Brandon at linebacker, and James Starter Jr. at the slot receiver on the same collegiate team, and the parents grabbed in the bucket. Instead of saying, "Go, son." I don't know. Sometimes our parents get in the way. And I went to school with James Starter's mom. And that was just disheartening to me. I didn't ask for nothing. All these guys that you seen, I asked for a dime. Just reach back, help somebody else. That's it. It's going to be my story one day when I transition. I'm going to shut up now, Bruce, because I truly believe that, on the headstone, I know my mom's headstone is her name, it's her birth date, it's her death date. But what's important to me is not the birth date and the death date, is how you live that dash. That's what people don't know. How do you live in your dash? So when my time coming, they put the last date on there, that dash, I want them to be talking about it. They're going to say more than Tracy Maxwell did 22 years in the Army, period. Oh no. I'm going to let them kids get up and testify. That's how you live a dash. So, my old boss said, Joshua Paul Perry, 30 years in the military, he said, sometimes when your ego is in full bloom, sometimes when you are absolutely for certain that you're the most qualified in this room, sometimes when you think that if you leave, it will leave an infillable hole, take this simple test, Bruce. I'm sure it's going to humble your soul. Go get a bucket, Bruce, and fill it up with water, and insert your hand clean to the wrist. And pull your hand out, Bruce, and the hole that remains is a true testament, Bruce, of how much you're going to be missed. Sure. Sure, Bruce. When you enter your hand, you're going to make one heck of a splash of galore. But pull it out, Bruce, and in a minute you're going to see that it goes back to where it was before. But you may be like, or you may be like Jack Horner when he pulled out his thumb and think that you're wonderful. But the true testament is you do all the good that you can, for as long as you can, for as many people as you can, but there's no such thing as an indispensable man. I thank you for allowing me to come in here today. I look forward to talking to, working with. It's good to see you, Joe. Man, we ain't young like we used to be, man, but we still in the fight. I just really appreciate it. I appreciate Principal Ash inviting me to come over to the kids. I'm excited about getting back, because, when you're around kids, you can be a kid. I always tell you, come up to my fence. Lang, you ain't gonna cross my fence now. I'm gonna keep that. But come up to my fence. So let's talk and joke. And, I gave all of them a test. How many of y'all on social media, Facebook? All of them raised their hand, of course. I said, okay. That was a test question. Now I got some homework for you. So I gave them what their little homework is. It's about me being a kid again. I turned 54 last month. I still can move a Cadillac quickly. But again, I thank everyone for your time, and God bless you all.
You know why I wanted Tracy to come now, and I was excited about Tracy coming and talking to us, and Kiwanis being part of youth, and we do a lot of different things. This is one thing we can really personally sink our teeth into. And Tracy needs us, to do some mentoring, come in there and spend some time. I know there's plenty of you guys in here we're going to be able to call and say, hey, we need a few minutes of your time today. And I think it'll make obviously it's going to make a great impact. And we may not get one or two each year, but we'll get one or two. And it'll make a difference. So appreciate Tracy coming. We could have a little board meeting. We could discuss maybe the use of that, if that's okay. Y'all want to do that? Okay. Y'all have a good afternoon. Thank you.
Good seeing you, Sean. Take care, buddy.
Good to see you, buddy. Here's your pen. Thank you. You actually have a towel. You all for it? Okay. Use one scout house. Okay. What we want to talk about using the scout house.
Okay, hey, I got
It makes a difference. Yeah. We'll have time to ask him. Need any money? Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Tracy, that just means price. He said, we'll do whatever we need.
Came over there, or you or somebody, you had to look at it.
He don't care.
He wanted
He wanted to abandon
I moved we offered to.
Okay? All in favor? Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you.
You gotta reach the youth too.
That's true. Good to see you, Eric.
How are you?
They got water hanging around there.
Oh, yeah, I can see there.
Yes, darling. I can put that on the agenda.
His kids, my kid out goes to church with his mom and his stepdad.
You might want
See
to
that?
get in contact with Scott. Does it Eric development program for school? It's different. You might have some people. Yeah, Paul Nolan. Yeah, character development and education is a program I go to schools. Actually, go for it. Let me go out, get his address and phone number out of my phone in the car. I'll let you know. See,
I talked to Chris Reed when I was over here. I talked to Chris Reed as a
Good
guest.
day, afternoon.
I talked to all of them freshmen. You know, and here's the thing. And you know, I played with his dad, his granddad, Charles. And Charles was like, and I know his wife, Charles. You know, I said, oh, Tracy, my son, he's great. He's this. He's scoring 22 points a game. I said, hey, that's one. What's his GPA? I said, come on, Gail. I said, any kid will tell you, I've had, I don't know how many kids that bombarded my Facebook. Mr. Tracy, you know, join me. And I let him join me, talk to me. Hey, you know, can you help me get out of this church? What you doing in school? You know, I had a kid today who said, I'm gonna play football. He said, it don't work that way, son. You ain't on the playground lesson. I said, I can start naming some playground lessons if you want me to. What's your GPA? What's your SAT score? See, Wesley knows. Me and Wesley don't talk football. Me and Radon Parker, we don't talk football. When I talk to them, I want to know, hey, how you doing in school? What's your needs? You know, because they struggle. Hey, man, I'm going to wire you some money. Here it is. You know, they're in college. And, you know, I flew out. I had never met Wesley. Coach Price called me and said, Tracy, can you help this kid? Wesley was in North Carolina. I looked at it, I said, have him call me. Wesley called me. Never saw him. Never saw Wesley play. The only thing I seen was a quick highlight. And I said, I looked at his highlight, I said, this kid can play. And what happened from there, Bruce, we just started talking. I said, man, this is kind of reminds me now of Art Nelson. As a matter of fact, spring break, I'm coming to pick up Art to take him over to Art and stay with me. I got Art working out with a world champion Olympic sprint, 2 times. Art Nelson, 3. I'm getting ready. But Wesley had never met. I flew out there for my birthday. I wanted to meet this kid, Wesley Brandon. I was way out there in Colorado. When I walked in the door, no lie, all the coaching staff says, Tracy, if you send me 11 more Western games, I'll win the conference championship. I still ain't met the kid yet. And Western comes around the corner, right like this, crying. I'm crying, hugging his neck. I said, you know what, son? It's so good to meet you, man. I said, you don't know what's been done. I said, no, I don't. But you get it figured out, and we'll get it figured out together. I want you to get your degree, man. And man, he is broke. He played as a true freshman. He played all of last season. And they moving him from the outside to the inside. So I said, man, if you ain't got 100, make 100, just when he got. And guess what? I already got some professional sports agents looking at him. But he don't know that. Yeah. Yeah. Man, he is. I went to watch him play. I came back that September before I got cold in Colorado. Cold like that. And man, to watch him on that field, I was in awe.
He's focused.
Wesley's focused.
No, we're done. We're done. We voted on it. We just wanted to offer him back out.
He relentless. He relentless, man. They love him out there. He says 5'11", I say 5'10". And that's a stretch. But he stays about 2, he plays at 220. I mean, when you look at him, he looks small in civilian clothes. But when he puts on his uniform, I mean, he got some big old arms and stuff. Now, Radon is 287 pounds. Oh, Radon is 287. Takis is 19. Takis graduates this year. And get this, I was just in the trouble with Takis before I came. Takis has 3 colleges interested in him right now. Take 10th grade. I've been calling the coach and say, man,
If you can get them a number and gradually introduce them to that, but you can't be around and get them on. But when we can get this kid